Missed some of yesterday's NBA action? Well, I'm here to give you a recap on each of the NBA games in a short amount of time. Welcome to TV's Daily NBA Recap. Let's get right into this. The first game on yesterday's schedule, we have the Brooklyn Nets defeating the Orlando Magic 108-96 behind 24 points by Jeremiah Martin? Yes, Jeremiah Martin. Also, good game from Timothy Luau-Cabarrot, 24 points as well. On the Magic side of things, they got a pretty good game from Wes Iwundu, who scored 18. This game didn't really matter much. I mean, both teams, the Nets and the Magic, locked up the 7th and 8th seeds respectively. And this was just a good game for the Brooklyn Nets in the sense where, people thought they were going to have a hard time in this bubble because they're missing so many players. But so far, 5-2. Very, very impressive. Jacques Vaughn is fighting for his coaching life right now, and he has these young guys playing hard. I don't know how this is going to translate well when Kyrie comes back, but right now, he's putting on a show in Brooklyn, and he's definitely showing management that he deserves to at least be given the shot. So, good win for Brooklyn. But like I said, these two teams are just not going to make any noise whatsoever come playoff time. We move on to the next game, and this game had a bit more implications. We had the San Antonio Spurs absolutely trashing the Houston Rockets 123-105 behind a cool 23 points from DeMar DeRozan. But their leading scorer, rookie Keldon Johnson, scoring 24 points, grabbing 11 rebounds, and also shooting 8 for 12 from the floor. Very good game for the San Antonio Spurs. Rockets playing without James Harden. No Eric Gordon. Also didn't play with Daniel House today. But good win for the San Antonio Spurs because they kept themselves alive. Only half a game behind that three-way tie between 8 and 10, but they still have a chance to make the playoffs. And so far in the bubble, they've been playing good. And like I said in the past, DeMar has underratedly been really good for the Spurs in this bubble, and he continues his stellar play here. They're not going to go down with a fight. I mean, they really want to keep that streak alive, and they've definitely been playing well. We're going to move on to the next game, and the Phoenix Suns continue to stay undefeated. 130-117 over the very much battered Philadelphia 76ers. Very, very interesting game early because Philadelphia was kind of in it, and they were kind of like hanging around. But the second half came, and the Phoenix Suns really blew this game wide open. 35 points for Devin Booker. He loves that number 35. Very good game from Mikal Bridges as well. 24 points. And on the 76ers side of things, a near triple-double for Kyle Quinn, only 1 point away. And also 23 points for Alex Burks. The fact that they kind of struggled against the third stringers of the Philadelphia 76ers was kind of worrying, but what they really need now is just to get wins. And it's really weird because they could still go undefeated and still not be able to make the play-in game, which is absolutely unfortunate. But they've been on fire. They've been really good. Devin Booker is looking like the superstar that we all were hoping that he would be. And they're in prime position to get at least one of the play-in games. Memphis has, I'm going to talk about hopefully the 8th seed matchup tomorrow's recap, but right now they're still in prime position. They might have to have a tough game next, but we're going to see how it goes down. But good win for the Suns, and it's looking worse and worse for 76er fans. Hopefully they can get him beat back soon, though. We move on to the next game, and we have the Boston Celtics taking another win, 122-107 over the Memphis Grizzlies, who are slowly but surely losing their playoff position. Good game from Jason Tatum, who basically scored in the third and 3 quarters, 29 points. Very, very efficient from the field. And from the Memphis side of things, a good 26 points for Ja Morant. What's up for the Grizzlies is that they looked like they were almost guaranteed a playing spot, and now they're kind of like on the ropes. They're very much on the ropes at this point, and they just continue to slide. Even when the Celtics were kind of like taking it a little bit easy, they didn't really play their stars that much. They still were able to basically dominate most of the game. I mean, Memphis had their runs here and there, but Boston clearly had control of this game. Whether it was Jason Tatum just absolutely taking each of their defenders off the dribble, whether it was Marcus Smart hitting crazy threes, Kemba Walker just toying with them. Like, it was just like a good all-around effort for the Celtics. Not a great game for Jaylen Brown, only going 3 for 13, but pretty dominant one nonetheless. We move on to the next game, and we have the Portland Trail Blazers taking on the Dallas Mavericks in what was easily the most entertaining game, with the Trail Blazers winning 134-131 over the Mavs. Damian Lillard becomes only the second player in NBA history to have 3 60-point games in the entire season. No MJ, no Kobe, no LeBron. It's him and Wilt at the top. And they needed every single one of those points because they only won by 3. 61 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists on 9, and hitting 9 threes as well. On the Dallas side of things, Kristaps Porzingis was absolutely on fire. 36 points, 6 rebounds, hitting 7 threes, and going 12 for 17 from the field. Just a fantastic game all around by him. And this game really did come down to the wire. And it looked like Portland was going to lose. And the unfortunate part for Portland is if they lost, they probably would have lost their place in the 8 seed battle. And that's why they really need each of these points from Lillard, because besides him and Carmelo, who both of them combined for 87 of the 134 points. I mean, CJ really did struggle in this game, and they need every single one of them. And Damian Lillard hit that crazy 3 with about just over a minute left, where he kind of hit the back of the iron. It went up in the air, kind of went off the screen, and it bounced right in. Like, you just knew it was that type of night for him, and they were able to pull it out over a Dallas Mavericks team who did not rest their players. I mean, Luka played a good amount of minutes. KP played a lot of minutes before he fouled out. And yeah, just another good win for Portland. And with this win, they're really much like, I mean, they have to still face the Brooklyn Nets, who I had to talk about earlier, have been like fighting really hard in this bubble. But if they can get that win, I think they're basically like in the driver's seat to really get that 8 seed. So good one for the Trailblazers. Nice work from the Mavs. I mean, Luka was kind of quiet. I mean, a 25-point game doesn't seem so quiet, but Luka makes it like that. But, you know, good one for the Trailblazers nonetheless. They stay in the 8th seed. We move on to the next game, and then this game really did not matter, but oh well. I mean, these two teams are going to leave before even they play their last game. Sacramento Kings beating the New Orleans Pelicans 112-106. Good game from Harrison Barnes, 25 points and 8 rebounds. And Julio Okafor looked pretty good in this game. 21 points, 4 rebounds, 9 from 11 from the field. And I mean, there's not really much to say. Both these teams are going to be eliminated. They're already eliminated from playoff contention, and they're going to be sent home today. Both teams still have young futures. I just want to say that for sure. I mean, they have, on the Sacramento side of things, they have De'Aaron Fox and Marvin Bagley. Hopefully they can be fully healthy come next season. And then the Pelicans, I've talked about in the past, they just need to kind of rework their roster, but hopefully we could see them back in the playoff race next year. At least a nice way to end it for the Kings, but very, very disappointing outing from the Pelicans just in general during this bubble. And then we go to the final game of the evening, and we have the Milwaukee Bucks defeating the Washington Wizards 126-113. Frank Mason had 19 points for the Milwaukee Bucks, along with Brook Lopez scoring 24 and Sterling Brown scoring 23. On the Washington Wizards side of things, Rui Hachimura with 20 points, and also Ish Smith coming off the bench with 19. The biggest story coming from this game was in the second quarter, Giannis headbutted forward of the Washington Wizards, Mo Wagner, and he got ejected from the game. 2 games in a row where, like this game and also the Brooklyn game, he kind of lost his temper a bit. He didn't get ejected from the Brooklyn game, but that was kind of the talking point because, you know, in these type of games, I mean, obviously these are the bubble games, these are not very important, but a superstar like Giannis really does need to kind of keep a level head. He cannot be pissed all the time. I know he said after the game that, you know, it's kind of an accumulation of dirty plays that he said that Wagner did throughout. But, yeah, Giannis just kind of has to keep his temper down. We already know how important he is by the looks of the Raptor game just recently. So they need to keep him on the floor. Hopefully he can kind of keep his temper down. But, you know, were still able to get the win. Brook Lopez was able to score on all fronts as well. So, you know, good game, good basketball game for basically the Bucks bench unit. But it was against the Wizards. The Wizards, I don't even think have won a game in the bubble. But, yeah, they still go towards the playoffs with quite a bit of momentum. Thank you guys for listening to this NBA Daily Recap. I'll be back tomorrow with another recap and also a very nice episode coming to you this Friday. So thank you guys for taking your time out your day to listen to this, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a good one, y'all. Peace.